Okay, so we're here with legendary artist Mr. Michael Golden. How you doing today?
Not too bad, and legendary.
And legendary, that is true, legendary. Now going back to the Nom, okay? You and Larry Hama worked on that book. What really drew you towards working on that series?
Well, Larry was the editor. Larry's been a friend of mine for years and years and years and years and years and years. And he just simply asked me, we were to do a series of short stories for a black and white magazine called Savage Tales. And in Savage Tales, we did, the story was called Fifth to the First. And what it was is a fictional stories about this group of soldiers, this little platoon of soldiers in Vietnam. And that grew into, eventually, we had such an audience reaction to that we just felt, Larry felt it was time, Larry and the writer, Doug Murray, felt it was time to just ask Marvel if they would want to do this. You know, do an ongoing monthly comic book about Vietnam, and Jim Shooter was in charge, and Jim sort of grudgingly said, yeah, sure, why not? And it took off. It was, you know, I mean, it outsold the X-Men for the first 3 issues, and this was the X-Men at their peak at that point. And that was it. What drew me to it is that I always have a hesitancy about doing superheroes. I'm not a big fan of the superhero genre. I like doing other things. It was a main historical event that happened to America. It completely changed the American landscape when it happened, and that drew me to it. I'm not into war. I'm not into drawing guns, although a lot of people think I am, you know, simply because I make the effort to do it correctly. It's that this was something that had never been done before, and that's what drew me to it. No one had ever done an ongoing monthly comic book with an historical context intrinsic to the concept, and the rest is history.
Excellent. Now, also to follow that up, the NAM is just praised for how it's realism, okay, we'll say. Have you talked to anybody have you had any interactions with fans who have read that, who actually did a tour?
Oh yeah, sure,
yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, I've gotten in fights with, no, not fights. I actually had one veteran come up and ask me, you know, where I did my tour and, you know, what unit I was with, and I told him I've never been in the military, you know. And he outright called me a liar, and which was a funny reaction, but it was because I made the effort to make it real, because I knew who was going to be reading this. I knew that comic book superhero fans weren't going to be reading this. They wouldn't care what the suppressor on an M16 in 1968 looked like. But a veteran would. He would know this. He would look at this and go, this guy knows his stuff. And most of them just assumed that I knew my stuff because done that, been there. And, you know, that's very gratifying for me. It means that I did my job. And you know, that's what doing a craft well is all about, to get that kind of acknowledgement from people who know what it is that they're looking at, or you know, like for a mechanic, that your car suddenly drives well. You know, it's like when you do your craft and it's acknowledged, that's what it's all about. That's the satisfying thing in life.
Yeah, oh, that's a great job. Now,
and what was your question exactly?
Now you created a character with Larry Hama once again, Neil Loudons. You did Bucky O'Hare. That became a big property back in the 80s. Not quite the level of Ninja Turtles, but pretty close. It's very well remembered by fans. Do you have any plans to go forward and work on some more stories with that after you guys re-release this?
I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill all of you.
Can Michael Golden hide 3 dead bodies?
Do you want to find out? Yes, there are plans. There's not only plans, but there's stuff in the works. Those plans constantly mutate and change. I could tell you a version that I heard just a couple weeks ago from the source, but those plans may change or have already changed. Yes, this is moving forward, and yes, there will be more Bucky O'Hare.
Excellent, excellent. How about more Michael Golden? Do you have any more projects coming up on the horizon? Anything you really want to plug to the fans at home to keep an eye out for?
I'm going to tell you, and it's going to kill you whether I make the effort or not. I've got a lot of things, folks, and you just need to go to the EV Inc. website to keep up on them. I'm doing Rocketeer. I'm redoing the G.I. Joe yearbook for IDW. Yes, and there's many of you out there that already know this, and they're going, yeah, I heard about this 2 years ago. It's coming. I'm doing some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Really?
Maybe. I'm doing animation stuff. I'm talking to motion comics people all the time. I'm doing a thing with an RPG game company. I'm doing self-publishing through EVA Inc. There's a couple of art books in the works. Doing many projects, actually, with DC Comics. The couple that I'm really looking forward to that are literally on my board waiting for me to find the time to do them is a Batman Black and White with Gail Simone, which I'm really looking forward to. I love Gail's writing, and I've made several opportunities to work with her, and they've all kind of fizzled out. This one's a go. This one's going to happen. Even if I have to break somebody's arms to do it.
Maybe mine.
Nah. And the other one is a Jonah Hex piece. So far it's a 2-part story, but it may mutate into a 3-part story. Going to be a steampunk story, and which has not been. I don't think it's been done in Jonah Hex yet.
I don't think so either.
And really looking forward to these 2 projects. Let's see, what else have I got going? I've got so many things happening that I can't keep up with it. And then, of course, I go to all of the conventions. I'm a featured guest with Wizard World this year. And really enjoying traveling around with this band of hoodlums. And having a good time, generally. At my age, I'll take what I can get.
That's a good attitude to have. Thank you very much, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
All right.